All right, looks like we are streaming successfully. There's some kind of error with OBS where I cannot see the chat here. Let's see if I can I'll just have the stream open, old school style then. All right. So, welcome to Fireside Chat number 161. As far as stuff going on, a few things. I've been kind of busy lately, so we'll start with number one basic server, Discord server organization and bots. So, I moved a couple channels around just a little bit. I put announcements at the very top with rules right below it. I don't know. Really, these are just things that occur to me. If people have strong opinions on the channel order, let me know. I can move them again. But having announcements and rules at the top, I think, makes sense. I like having rules about WA right next to each other because they're quite related. We have the new, well, I'll get into that in a second. I also changed the name of several of the bots, all of them actually, except for Bifrost. So they are all Norse themed, some of them lesser known, such as Saga, some of them much more well known, such as Yggdrasil or Heimdallr, of course, and Bifrost. And I guess that will segue right into number two, new bots on the server. So I got rid of Uko. It still exists on my computer, so it's there as a backup, but I've brought in a couple new bots to fill all the purposes that Uko has without having to worry about my own internet or keeping my computer online. Having these other bots that are hosted elsewhere makes it much easier. They should be much more reliable and should be more of a long-term solution. So there is now Bifrost bot is going to be doing the logging. So, for example, logging when people join and leave the server and such in our log channel for our moderators. I'm sure all of our officers have already seen that in the logs channel. And B, I think pinned there is the commands. Two of them are. I'll pin the Bifrost help command in there right now, actually, for reference, so that people know how to use it. Although I don't know that it will let anybody else use it, but it's there anyway. So Bifrost is doing that. I've renamed Ilmatar, the rhythm bot, the music bot, to Bragi. Of course, the Norse god of skalds, which makes a lot of sense. And because of that, we had a Hall of Bragi, so I renamed that to the Hall of Forseti. Again, all of those are really just random Aesir, random Norse gods and such, so if you have a suggestion you really want to be named something else, I'm certainly open to that. I just kind of picked stuff that I thought seemed decent. I brought in the Heimdall bot, and that is a dino, which was actually the first bot on the server, I think, way back when. I think Solite set up a dino bot, and we used that for stuff. So I brought it in, disabled almost everything on it. It's right now essentially just a welcome bot that sends a welcome message to people, and also tells them what channels to go to, of course, in that welcome message, and also assigns them the guest role. The guest role is actually pretty pointless now. I reworked the server so that people can use it even without the guest role. But it does just mark people as guests, basically. So for the purposes of counting how many people are on the server and such, and how many guests we have, it makes it a little bit easier for that. That's all. So, yeah, those have been brought in. We still have Yggdrasil was... what was it? It was Vinamornin. So that's the role assignment bot. I'll get into that a little bit in a second here. And StatBot is now Saga. I think that was across previously. And Ymir is only for profiles. It's technically a custom command bot, so we can load it up to do a lot of different stuff. Potentially, we could put the codex of the Aesir on there. But right now, all it does is people's profiles in the profiles channel. So yeah, there's an overview of bots, and then I'll jump back in with the role bot, which is now Yggdrasil. So we have a new get roles channel that everyone can use. Basically, you react in there to get and remove roles, exactly the same as it worked before, except before it was at the bottom of the rules channel. Now it's got its own channel, which is a little bit easier, so you don't have to scroll through a bunch of stuff. It's just one channel, and all that's in there is game roles, and you can get whichever ones you want. Nobody's roles change, so if you already have the game roles you want, just no problem, forget about it. But if you do want to add or remove roles, you can game roles, at least you can go in there and do that. So if you have a game role you don't want, as always, any moderator in the server can handle that, can add or remove roles for you, but you can do it yourself. You can go in there and just click the role and then click it again, and that'll get rid of a role if you haven't already reacted in there to get it. And yeah, we also, I'll throw it out there, we're open to new emoji on the server since I've discovered that the React role system does work if I add emoji, set up the system, and then remove them from the server, because we have a limited number of spots for emoji on the server. So I got rid of all of them after setting that up, because almost all of them. I left a few, like some of the animated ones, because animated emoji take up a different spot. So the Chocobo, Quaggan, Among Us emoji are still there, because they're all animated. But most of them are gone, since they're not really useful for anything outside of that. It's just a logo of the game. So if you do have other emoji you want to suggest that be added, we can definitely consider that, because we have 54 open slots now, which is pretty cool, and 94 animated open slots. So that is all set up. With the addition of the Get Rules channel, I also revamped the rules channel just very slightly. I think with an eye to... So I didn't change any rules, but I added a traditions and RP section in there. And this is sort of with an eye to explaining WA to people that don't know anything about it. So basically, the traditions and RP, I think, are kind of part of the same overall thing, which is what is WA beyond just hanging out and playing games, beyond just being a Discord server. Well, we have all this extra stuff like our naming stuff, song stories, history, titles, things like protocol are basically RP, houses and families, etc. So that's all briefly mentioned, traditions and RP, and there's a link there to go to About WA to read some more, and a link to our forums as well. So that's just been slightly redone. And yeah, with that, I'll move on to our forums. I did update our forums. They were very, very much out of date, so I was able to update them and add a lot of new plugins, which enable a lot of nice features. A lot of it just very small quality of life stuff. For example, showing the avatar of the last person who posted next to each subforum. The biggest one is that I got marks working. They're under awards. So awards do work on the forums now. So there is a new thread there where you can request marks, and I made an announcement for all this as well in the announcements channel. There's a link there. But in Mead Hall, there's a pinned request marks channel. You can also go to the marks or profiles channel on Discord. And there's also pinned there a spreadsheet, which is also linked on the forums too. So any of those options, you can go there and request marks. And from now on, they'll be added to your forum account and to your profile. So you get them, your profile on Discord. And when I say profile, I don't mean your literal profile. I mean your WA profile, which is just basically a banner that we have stored on the server that's shown in the profiles channel that shows all the awards you've earned. But yeah, that is all working, so feel free to take advantage of that. And I think that might be it. Got all that stuff working. I know I had talked about hosting a League 1v1 tournament in honor of the Festival of Hope, and I hadn't said anything more about it, but if anyone was expecting that to happen, unfortunately that's not going to happen just yet. It's something I still think I might want to do, but currently I'm just pretty busy with casting other events and such that I just decided it would be a better idea not to do that. So unfortunately that's not going to happen just yet. Other than that, I think that might be about it. We have been working behind the scenes with some Antipody traditions, Special Forces Unit, Night Order kind of stuff. I think we're making progress on that, and I don't want to throw, dates out there and then not actually live up to those deadlines, but definitely making solid progress on that. It's something I would like to get done pretty soon. I'd like to I place a lot of importance on that right now, so I'm hoping it will be completed pretty soon. I think with that, should be it. Yeah, so I think go ahead and sign off. I'll be hanging out in Sword Hauler if anyone has any questions or anything like that. Otherwise, I'll see everybody next week, Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're Fireside Chat number 162.